How do you control an entire nation of people? The answer is simple. You see, there are 3 key steps to controlling a nation of people through government. 1, you create a class system. 2 is fear. And 3 is the main focus of what we're going to be talking about today. The big D word, division. Hi, this your boy Anthony Simmons, and if you don't know by now, you are tuned into Higher Heights, the only channel dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you already seen the title and you seen the thumbnail. We're going to be getting into talking about election time, folks, today. But before we get into this video, I need y'all to do what y'all came here to do. Like this video. I said like this video, hit the subscribe button, and don't leave the notification bell lonely, because I don't want you to miss when I'm dropping content like this. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, and each and every day you guys are making it happen, showing up and showing out. With no further ado, let's get to the topic. Now, we all know that it's election season. This is the time where candidates go on tour making big promises that give us the delusion that somehow, some way, they're going to get into office and make big changes. It's comical at times, because if you've lived long enough, you know that the minute these candidates get into office, it becomes less about the promises they peddle to you and more about the agenda of their political parties and their constituents. Sure, the speeches they give are almost Shakespearean in nature. They evoke emotions and spark conversations in even the most lackluster communities. The kinds of debates that spark divisiveness between the young and the old, the rich and the poor, father and son, etc. and so forth. They go around shaking hands, kissing babies, cutting ribbons, and slumming it with the blue-collar workers that live a lifestyle that seems almost foreign to the type of lifestyle that they themselves live. They have teams of writers, PR people, campaign managers, and financial contributors to ensure that they are always looking and sounding on top of their game. But even with all of this, we still get the occasional glitch in the process.
And I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
That's huge news there.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like I'm moving away. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. Grab them by the pussy. Grab them by the pussy.
Now, my question is, how is it that a nation that was founded or allegedly founded on the basis of Christianity still believing that a man or a woman is going to make anything better? Well, one reason is Christianity is a religion, and religion is one of, if not the biggest cause of division in the entire world today, let alone the United States. This is why I don't call myself a Christian. I believe that God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. But we'll get back to that later. Now let's talk about class systems. In America, we used to have upper class, middle class, lower middle class, and of course, poor. It went from that to upper class, middle class, and poor. As time went on, it was upper class and middle class. There was no in between. And of course, now we're at the times of you either rich or you living paycheck to paycheck, or you homeless. But no matter how you slice it, a class system is a way of separating the haves and the have-nots, which is a way of keeping each class level divided by lifestyles. And of course, we can't agree on anything if each group of people is facing an entirely different set of circumstances and issues on a daily basis. Now, amongst these issues are key hot button dynamics in which they create special interest groups or communities, such as religion, money and or corporations, sex, and race, etc. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the word fear. And to break this point down, we don't have to look any further than the recent pandemic that we just faced. But fear is a tactic that can be deployed in any and all situations when all else fails. Whether it's fear of losing jobs, wars, tragedies, or health crises, a good healthy dose of fear can cause even the most militant, rebellious group of people to be confused and bewildered and more dependent on the government than ever. You see, during the pandemic, the government gave out tons of relief and cash money while encouraging the people who are already antisocial to become even more antisocial, causing many to believe that plan almost backfired, as America's workforce is not even the shell of its former self, even over a year removed from the pandemic. But right on schedule, the government has a way of letting you know that if you don't work, you don't eat, because bills don't stop coming. Now, the last thing I want to hit on, and the greatest point that I want to make during this video, is division itself. Now, just imagine this. We take a great nation that was once God-fearing and place a group of people over them in a system that we're going to call democracy, and pull the wool over their eyes by marching out several candidates in front of them, each representing special interest groups amongst them. The main two being Republican or Democrats, red or blue, and give them the illusion that they have a choice and that their voice matters. Now, this all sounds great, except for the fact that we don't really have a voice. Let me ask you this one simple question. Have you ever been in a room full of people that are all trying to talk at the same time? Now, what does that sound like? Total chaos. Now, amplify that by imagining over 300 million people who are separated by all these issues that I stated earlier. You see, what they know is we can't possibly ever be heard because we're too busy fighting each other over these systems that they've created. And to top it all off, they live a lifestyle that's afforded to them by our tax dollars. So we, the people, are actually paying them to tell us lies. And at the end of the day, contrary to popular belief and whatever lives you've been fed, our vote does not matter. Look, conspiracy theorists aside, in the world we live in where the media steers and guides many of our thought processes, you'd be a fool to believe that professional sports and gambling is the only thing that's rigged. Do you actually think that this elite group of wealthy, privileged people would actually trust you to have influence over an outcome of this magnitude? If so, come holler at me, because I got some beachfront property to sell you in the middle of nowhere. Look, at the end of the day, all I'm telling you is don't believe the hype. And I'm not telling you whether or not to vote or who to vote for. It is my personal belief that none of these human beings / candidates have the interests of the common man in mind. So as for me, I refuse to play they red or blue game every 3 or 4 years. I'd rather put on an outfit made of rainbow colors and stand in the middle of a blood and Crips gang war. Y'all be blessed.